Today, I want to talk about something every creative struggles with. And it's something that I've been struggling with my whole life. And that is how to turn your creativity into a source of income, to not be a struggling creative. And if you're interested in that and you want to be out of that struggle, this video is for you. Ultimately, we want to get paid doing what we love to do. The last time I came here, I declared that I was going to be making YouTube videos again, just to end up not doing that. To be honest, it's because I never found my why, a strong reason of why I need to be consistent and stick to doing YouTube. And now that I've found that reason, which actually has been a very strong motivation for a lot of my creative journey, which is to actually help others, to give other people a platform to grow, to give people the mindset to be able to grow their career, because this isn't just a walk in the park. And I'm literally in a park, but literally the creative journey in any industry is actually very tough to crack. Without the correct mentality, the correct resources, and the correct goals, even from what we follow online, what we watch, a lot of people flood their brains with information that isn't useful to their current trajectory in life or their current goals or their current plans. Hence why it's very important to filter everything in your life to align with your goals, because alignment allows you to live the way you want to live. It'll make it easier. Nothing is easy, but it does get easier when you get used to it, when you have resources, when you start having the money and the networks to be able to power your career. And that's ultimately what these videos are going to be about. This is what I want to do for the next couple of years, growing my company, but growing others too in a way that is mutually beneficial, because that's how I roll in life. Just seeking mutually beneficial partnerships with anything, with people, work, friendships, love. If it's not 50-50 in terms of the effort we're both putting in, we're wasting each other's time. And even with you yourself as a creative, if you're not putting in 100% to your creative goals or whatever you want to achieve, and you're shocked that you're still broke, nothing's coming together, you're not getting clients, it is because you're not fully focused on making this thing. You're not fully focused on growing your name in this industry and being known for it, because that's how you change your life. That's how you become an artist who is known for more than just the art. You influence the world, and that's honestly what you need to aim for and strive for. Not for the little things, not for the peanuts, not for the 500 Rand reels that anyone just asks you to do. Aim higher, aim bigger, become unaffordable, because that's how you live a life that becomes worth more. Hi, I'm Tibu Myla, the Chocolate Man, and let me just give you a little insight into my history so that you understand exactly where I'm coming from. So a little bit about my backstory. I used to work 2 jobs just to basically make a living, but to be honest, to survive. It wasn't really a choice. One was a production company and one was an NPO, and basically I was the creative lead for both. And with those jobs, I learned so many skills that basically I'm using now for myself, also putting it back into my company, because I didn't start my business after I quit my NPO. Funny enough, the NPO is the reason I stopped the business, because the only reason I started working for my old job was to be able to grow within it, because I wanted to grow them. The deal was, if I can build a team within them and use that team to kind of propel myself, right? And also kind of build a career path that makes sense for me, then 100% we were going to work with each other for a very long time. But it's a lesson that I also learned, that not everyone really cares about your growth, and it's something that I want you to really understand. Your growth, where you want to be, is on you. You can't expect people to keep their word and to actually even care about what your goals are. I learned very fast that everything at the end of the day was going to be on me. Like, there's just no 2 ways about it, unfortunately. So through working those 2 jobs of working for a production company and also working for an NPO, I got like my dream salary. I never even thought I'd be able to earn that amount of money, but I didn't think, oh cool, let me live lifestyle, let me spend money on things I never had before, in terms of just my wants. I actually immediately thought about my needs and thought that, how can I make this work for me? Because once some people, especially creative people, let's say start landing the work and the money and the clients that they want, they don't see how to amplify it. And for me, I thought about it. I was like, cool, I know how to animate. I don't have a team, and there's too many variables about animation, because that was, like I said, my first career path. But when I saw that there was just too many hurdles to overcome to become a successful creative through animation, I chose videography. Hence why with those two jobs, I saved up, I bought the A7 IV. It was my dream camera. I did so much camera research before I purchased my first, let me say, high-end camera. And I knew that actually cameras were for me, or let me say videography really was for me and in my creative lane, because I was naturally interested in it. I've always loved tech, but the fact that I could watch camera videos without even owning the camera, just to really get the feel of what I like. So I've always been a big fan of Sony. I checked out Red, I checked out Canon, I checked out Nikon, but they weren't my vibe, you know. A lot of people say, oh, which camera should I use? I always say just look at like what the type of people who use that camera and the type of work that came out of it. And for me, man, the A7 IV, the Sony lineup just made so much more sense. And funny enough, once I got it, you know, once I purchased that camera, that literally was the start of everything. You know, it really was where I could turn my creativity into a currency, step by step, and that was the best part. Here's what I've learned. Creativity isn't enough. You need to learn how to package your ideas, your skills, and your ideas in ways that people can actually see value in them. And not just value, but are actually willing to pay for it. That's exactly what I want to help you do. I'll share practical steps like brand building, how to monetize your skills, and approach opportunities like a creative entrepreneur. Step one, you need to find out what makes you unique. For me, at first it was animation. Not a lot of people were doing it, and not a lot of people learned how to do it the way I did. Step two, building a presence around that. Whether it's on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, show your process, your results, and most importantly, your personality. Step three, start small. A lot of the jobs that I started with were free or very low paying, which isn't a problem at all. The point is you need to build a portfolio. So do a lot of collaborations, networking, just to get the ball rolling, because every small step is currency and it'll eventually add up. This is just the beginning. I'm coming back on YouTube and I want to share my journey, my lessons, all the tips that I've learned from the past year, and make sure that if you're a creative who really wants to turn their passion into results, then I'm your guy. And if that sounds like you, hit the subscribe button, comment down below what type of content you'd like to see me make. And next week, I'll break down my first paying client with no connections and how I used it to network and build my client base. Peace.